Hello, and welcome to our podcast, Where the Dark Corners Are. I am Vina, and I am your Dark Travels hostess. So tonight we actually have Sierra.
Hi, it's been a minute.
It's been a serious minute.
It has been.
I'm not going to say who's the worst tracking down for scheduling.
It's me.
I'm not going to say who's the worst because it's actually kind of almost a tie.
That's fair.
But anyways.
Well, to be fair, I got sick, and I had this weird cough that lasted for 6 whole weeks.
Right.
So.
You know, yeah. I got sick, and one time I didn't even get sick. This one time, I just straight lost my voice for 3 months.
Yeah.
Some random voice scenario.
Yeah, I lost my voice in June for 3-4 days.
Okay.
Well, I went to Reno Pride and screamed.
Okay,
a
well,
lot.
that was probably it.
Oh, yeah.
She was showing her true pride then.
I was, my rainbow.
So one of the things I want to share with our listeners is a couple of things, a couple of newses. I actually had the opportunity to talk to a fan, if you will, out in Virginia.
That's awesome. And
he had some suggestions for us.
All right.
One of his suggestions was doing YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure when, but very, very soon we will be doing some videos. Where the Dark Corners Are, we'll be releasing some videos on YouTube.
That'll be fun. The
other suggestion that he had actually had something to do with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let me hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another episode of Serial Killers. Serial Killers. Serial Killers. Serial Killers. With Sierra. Yeah.
Now, believe it or not, that is literally, she did not see that coming. She did not know that was coming.
I love that.
And so our listener out in Manassas, Virginia, that one was for you.
Well, thank you. That's awesome.
He recommended that I give you a proper introduction, and that was it. That was your. I hope you like it. I mean,
I am 100% down with it.
I mean, I was actually starting to panic because she was, or like I said, the scheduling's been off for long. I was actually starting to panic that she wasn't coming back, and here I had taken a listener's advice and got this done, and I thought he did an excellent job.
I love it.
I wanted to kind of make it. I don't know. I know you weren't expecting it. Do you want to hear it again?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another episode of Serial Killers. Serial Killers. Serial Killers. Serial Killers. With Sierra. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you listened to our other podcast, but he's the same guy that did Polar Bear's introduction.
Oh, okay.
So, yes.
I was wondering why, at the beginning,
it sounded like a game show.
Well, that and why you didn't play my normal intro
right
before we started talking. I was like, that's a little odd. But I was like, it's been a minute. Maybe she just forgot.
Right. No. She has a plan.
I love it.
So that is your new intro.
That's
and
so cool.
Like I said, she literally had no idea this was even going to happen. And it was actually kind of really perfect timing when you said, let's hear it.
Yeah.
And not knowing it really was
a
new intro for you.
Brand new. I love that.
All right, so kind of jumping into the next episode of Serial Killers with Sierra.
Yeah.
What are we talking?
All right, so first, I have a fantastic question for you.
Okay.
If you could choose one member of your family to commit a murder with, who would it be?
Shit. I couldn't trust anybody.
Mine would definitely be my cousin.
Was it?
My cousin Missy.
Okay.
Hands
I
down.
could see that about her. No offense, Missy, but I mean.
I think we would make the perfect duo.
Right.
It'd be perfect. So I asked that question because we have a pair of cousins.
Okay.
Their names are David Gore and Fred Waterfield.
Okay.
David Allen Gore was born on August 21st, 1953 in Florida. When he was a teen, he was fired from his first job as a gas station attendant after his boss found a hole that allowed Gore to look into the women's bathroom.
Jesus Christ.
Gross. Gore was an auxiliary sheriff's deputy and used his badge to commit some of his earlier crimes and later crimes. He also worked as a caretaker of a citrus grove that provided a secluded area in which to rape and murder his victims.
Oh, wow.
Of course.
This is almost like the Golden State Killer Florida style.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like a perfect setup for this dude, too.
Right, he worked it out.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Fred Waterfield was born on September 29th, 1952 in New Jersey. He was a high school football player and cousin of David Gore. Gore and Waterfield came to an arrangement, namely that Gore would spot, stalk, and secure potential victims for himself and Waterfield in exchange for cash payments from Waterfield.
So, how does that conversation start?
Right?
Like,
what up, cuz?
Are you just sitting around drinking a brewski and be like, you know what I'm feeling like today?
Rape and murder.
Right. And
I'll pay you to find people for me.
Right.
And I'll let you in on the action.
Just...
just normal, everyday cousin things.
Right.
I mean...
Not my cousin things, but yeah, okay.
Some cousins.
But yes, apparently.
So we're going to get into the list of some victims. Gore and Waterfield's first two murder victims were Ying Hua Ling, 17, and her mother, Hsing Huang Ling, age 48. It was February 19th, 1981. Gore accosted Ying Ling and brandished his auxiliary police badge to lure the teenager into his truck, after which he drove her to her home. Once there, he encountered her mom and kidnapped both women. Gore later claimed that the mother, while tied to a tree, slowly choked to death while he and Waterfield raped her daughter in front of her.
Right, because that's what happens. People just choke on their own accord.
Right. While tied up to
I'm
a
surprised
tree.
she didn't have a heart attack seeing this horrific scenario play out.
Yeah. The pair later dismembered the two women and stuffed their body parts into oil drums, which they buried. Because, of course.
Right.
Why not?
That is a shit ton of effort after killing somebody.
Right? I mean, you got to cover the evidence, I guess, if you don't want to get caught.
No, I get that, but I mean, not that I'm making suggestions, but you have swamps.
Yeah,
in
like
Florida.
And gators.
That's exactly where I'm going.
And they'll
with
eat
this.
everything.
Right. Florida's hot.
Yeah.
This is a lot of work. I mean, I am not suggesting this.
Murder better. Florida.
Right. Murder 101. Gator much? No. I'm not suggesting. I'm just saying that's a lot of work.
I'm just saying that's what I'd do.
But it is a proficient way to get rid of the evidence until things are found.
Correct. The pair's third victim was Judith K. Daly, age 35, a former Fort Pierce resident visiting from California. Should have stayed in California. On July 15th, 1981, Gore disabled Daly's car at the beach and then offered her a ride to the nearest telephone. He drove Daly to a secluded area and met with Waterfield, where both men raped her. Gore claimed to have disposed of her body in the swamp.
Okay, well.
So they finally kind of...
They probably figured this was too much work.
Yeah, heck yeah, dismembering and putting them in barrels and then burying the barrels.
This is heavy work.
Yeah. I'm lazy. I wouldn't do that. Just chop them up into little pieces, feed them to a gator.
I wouldn't commit murder, first of all.
I mean, I'm not saying I would.
Her shirt, the shirt she's currently wearing.
It was perfect for today. Don't judge me.
It says, I can see it's going to be a rope, duct tape, and shovel kind of a day. As she's saying, she wouldn't bury anybody.
I wouldn't. I just wore it because it was perfect for the podcast. Don't judge me. 1 week after Daly's murder, Gore unsuccessfully attempted to abduct a teenage girl using his auxiliary badge. The girl's father filed a complaint, and Gore was stripped of his badge. That was the only punishment.
Wow.
He attempts to kidnap this young lady, and all they do is take his badge away.
What year is this?
81.
Can we just say a lot of shady shit went down in the 80s?
Yeah, one of my moms was born, so that makes sense.
Okay.
Sorry, Daisy.
There was a lot of, the 80s was wonderful.
Yes.
In a lot of areas.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't so wonderful in some aspects.
Correct.
And when we talk about, like, law enforcement, maybe not the finest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, I guess you could say that about any decade.
Right. Well,
But
yeah.
Just saying. Days later, police spotted Gore hiding in the back seat of a woman's car, carrying a police scanner, handcuffs, and a pistol. He was convicted of armed trespassing and sentenced to 5 years in prison, but was released on parole in March of 1983.
So not a lot of whole lot of time served there.
No, like 2.5 years, if even that.
Nice Florida.
Good job. Yeah. I mean, so you've already had this guy for attempted kidnapping, I mean, they didn't do anything about it.
Right.
But then you find him in the back of a woman's car with a police scanner, handcuffs, and a gun.
Well, they didn't prosecute him, so I don't know if that would even be something allowed.
Yeah, but I mean, you already know.
Even the prosecution should have been like, hey, he got fired.
Yeah, for peeping on girls when he was a teen, whatever. And then, he attempted to abduct this other girl. And then now he's in the back of this woman's car.
With the intent to abduct and harm.
5 years! And he doesn't even serve that!
All right. Good job, Florida.
Ugh. On May 20th, 1983, Gore and Waterfield encountered Orlando hitchhikers Angelica LaVey and Barbara Ann Byer, both 14, and picked them up. They raped, killed, and dismembered both girls.
How are they dismembering them?
Nothing I could find said exactly, but if I had to guess, probably like a saw which is typical if you're going to dismember somebody.
Okay.
Bone saw,
Okay.
Dremel, power tool.
No, they didn't have power tools back then.
In the 80s?
I don't think so. Not that kind of power tool.
Fair. Maybe they just did it with a sword.
Or,
machete.
Again, I'm not recommending how to Wonder 101.
This is not a how-to podcast.
Correct. But a hacksaw or, a chopper, an axe.
Chopper. That thing that you cut wood with?
Yes.
Starts with an A, it's 3 letters, something like that.
Correct.
Lynn Elliott, age 17, and Reagan Martin, age 14, were both students at Vero Beach High School and were hitchhiking to Wasboa Beach when Gore and Waterfield picked them up on July 26, 1983. They took both girls to a house owned by Gore's parents. Waterfield, however, soon left, spooked by having seen his sister during the drive up there. Gore later told police that he bound and placed the girls in different rooms prior to raping them. As he was assaulting Martin, Elliott, nude with her hands tied behind her back, escaped to the driveway until she lost her footing. According to Gore, I kept running after her, then she tripped and fell, and then I caught up to her. Girl got horror movied.
On her own accord, too. That's terrible.
I started dragging her back, and she was trying, resisting, fighting me, so I threw her to the ground. That's when I shot her in the head. Gore shot her twice at point-blank range, only to realize that a neighbor boy riding his bike had witnessed the entire incident.
Run, neighbor boy, run.
He did. The boy alerted police, which led to a 90-minute standoff between Gore and law enforcement. Cops arrested Gore and rescued Martin, who was found in the attic naked, handcuffed, and with electrical cords tied around her legs. On August 10th, a grand jury charged Gore with first-degree murder with 2 counts of kidnapping and 2 counts of sexual battery. January 6, 1984, Gore's trial was moved from Vero Beach to St. Petersburg, Florida. March 16, 1984, the jury convicted him of first-degree murder, and after an 11-1 vote, he received the death sentence.
Which he should have.
But I want to know who that one person that said no.
Right.
Who the hell?
Does it have to be unanimous in?
Doesn't sound like it.
No.
At least not back then. I don't know if that's changed.
Okay.
August 22nd, 1985, the Supreme Court affirmed Gore's first-degree murder conviction and his death penalty. January 21st, 1985, Waterfield was convicted of the murders of Byer and Levine and received 2 consecutive life sentences. On March 3rd, 1988, Governor Bob Martinez signed Gore's death warrant. And then finally, on July 5th, 2007, the Florida Supreme Court once again confirmed Gore's death sentence. So this went from 1983 or 84 up to 2007.
So you're talking over 20 years.
That's ridiculous.
This fucking guy.
Of appeals and everything.
Right. That's ridiculous.
Oh no, then it gets even worse. Gore was executed by lethal injection at 6:19 p.m. on a Thursday, April 12th, 2022.
Oh my God, that was last year.
Having exhausted all of his appeals. Just last year.
That's 18 years.
This dude murdered in the 80s.
40 years ago. You know how much he probably cost the state of Florida?
Right? I mean, well, it's not like California. People just sit on death row until they die of old age.
Well, when I become governor of California, I will be reenacting the reinstilling capital punishment is on the books in California.
It is.
Just Newsom has opted not.
Yeah, like I said, they just sit on death row until
Correct.
they die of old age.
Well, when I become governor, that's going to change.
I'll vote for you. As Gore lay strapped to a gurney in the death chamber, he stated, "I'm sorry. I've had remorse. I'm not the man I was back then.
Oh.
I don't fear death."
You should.
Yeah, and Waterfield is still sitting his ass in prison.
Wow.
Until he dies.
Well, he is back-to-back.
Executive life sentences.
Okay.
Yeah, so he'll be there until whatever age he reaches. Just rot and waste taxpayer money, because why not?
So, what was the name of he was a sheriff deputy, is that correct?
For who? Like what he was?
Right.
Auxiliary sheriff deputy.
What county was that?
I could not find out.
Okay. I'm just, it's like I said, the Golden State Killer himself was in law enforcement, and he got fired and this was the man was able to elude law enforcement for decades, but he gets fired from law enforcement over something stupid. He was caught stealing actually duct tape.
Yeah.
And I think rope and a shovel. I think what you're wearing is what he gets caught trying to shoplift. And that's how he loses his badge. I mean, for someone who managed to elude and commit these atrocities, it's like, it really is the stupid mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. The tiniest, dumbest things.
But sincerely, the young lady, what was her name again?
Which one?
The one who didn't do it and went to her dad.
Oh, I never got her name. It never said.
Probably because she's a minor.
Probably.
I mean, what not only an exceptionally brave thing to do, but, I mean, she obviously heard her inner voice saying no.
Yeah.
Which is not something we are always, as women, trained to do.
Yeah.
Especially when someone of authority and a male.
That's why, one of my favorite sayings is that no is a complete sentence.
Right.
And, I mean, it's sad how many people are they just don't believe that or
disregard.
Or disregard it. It's ridiculous. I just, people make me sick.
Right.
Not serial killers, just regular people.
Right. She's like, well, tell me the juicy details, sir.
Right? Give me all the murder deets.
You're a normal person?
Get out of here.
No, thank you.
Quit wasting my time.
Correct. So, they were able to convict all of these people based on confessions or...
Confessions, I would assume, since they, went into details of, how they were dismembered and buried or whatever, I would assume that they found at least some body parts.
Right. I mean, because he was at the cousin's house, so obviously somebody on that side of the family helped him inside to that. That was the link between...
Well, yeah, because the house belonged to Gore's parents.
Okay.
So I don't know if they were, aware that their kid was about murdering people.
Or not.
Or if they were just go ahead and have a house for, the summer or whatever.
Right. So, but they were convicted on all accounts or just...
So, Waterfield was convicted on some of the other murders. Gore was only convicted of attacking and raping Lynn Elliott and for kidnapping Reagan Martin.
Okay, so the girl he killed in the
driveway. And then the girl that survived.
But they clearly confessed to the others.
I would assume probably after.
we now know of these other victims. And these are just probably the ones that maybe they admitted to.
Yeah. So who knows? They could have had.
Because it kind of sounds like they had a lot of time on their hands and were able to commit more atrocities. I mean, if they're proficient to the point where just rolling up on people.
Well, and really, and like the only reason why they even got caught
was because of the paper boy.
Was because of the kid.
Right.
Yeah. The little neighborhood boy who just happened to see Gore shoot execution style
this poor
twice.
Girl. Right. Okay. All right. Well, that is what we have for you tonight.
Yes.
Murders in Florida as we close out our trip to Florida. Anyways, on to business.
Facebook. Where the Dark Corners Are has a Facebook page. So if you like to see some creepy things, share some creepy things, participate in polls, or even tell us some little weird stories of your own, go ahead and send us a request on over to that Facebook page.
But if you have want us to discuss episodes,
yes, episode ideas,
right? You could send us an email at wherethedarkcornersaре@gmail.com. And so both of these things, like I mentioned before, we're moving over to video, and I've been working on this one program that I'm just really excited about. So I'll be able to kind of bring up these things as the video plays on as well. So just a lot of different things going on. But
if we're going to do video, does that mean they're going to watch us dance to the opening theme song?
Well, that's just it. I was going to do a meeting where we talk about what kind of opening scene we want. Do we want us... Because, the viewers obviously can't see us now, or listeners can't see us now, but some of us will dance to the music as we're taping.
Yep.
Simply because it's catchy music.
Our opening theme is so catchy.
Right.
It's so nice.
Creepy and catchy.
Exactly.
Cappy creechy. I don't know. There you go.
It is what it is.
Correct. All right. So until next time, please remember, only the few can find the beauty in the darkness, which is why we hope to meet you where the dark corners are.